Welcome to the Apex Insiders betting preview. We got the Jeddah, or actually Saudi Arabian Grand Prix in Jeddah. And I am here with the one and only Lights Out Bet F1. Or I don't even know what your name is anymore. It's just Lights. But welcome, man. It's been a while.
Yes, thank you, man. It's good to be here. I'm back from Costa Rica now. The way that trip worked, the way the F1 schedule worked, I lost not one but two race weekends because of that 9-day trip. But that was the one that was paid for last year when Joe beat Bottas. So bought those flights like the following week off of those winning tickets. So it kind of felt good. It felt like a whole, full circle moment for F1 betting. But I am now back. I have access to almost all my books. Still limited. Lost the Bet365 account, so kind of sad.
Yeah.
Kind of have access to them through a friend, but having to get more and more creative here, and excited to get dialed in for another race weekend. I have been finding the race session has been simplest to find edges on, and usually not until after qualifying. So the pre-race week research that I used to do has been relatively fruitless the last year or so. So I'm like, I'm just going to focus, show up at the 11th hour and steal everybody else's homework for the race and see how I do for profits. So
it's a winning formula. I mean, right now, especially like what we've been seeing is what you see in qualifying is basically what's going to happen in the race. Except for Bahrain, it kind of gave us a little mixed result, especially with the safety car. But yeah, I mean, it works. Whatever works, man. You got to adapt, right? And I know how much it sucks to be limited / banned, so I can I can speak on that for sure. So I get it. But yeah, no, I'm happy you're back. It feels like forever. So yeah, we have the Jeddah Grand Prix. Very quickly, it's totally different now. We're back to a track where high speeds. This is like one of the highest speed tracks on the calendar outside of like Monza. 80% on the throttle, medium to high speed turns, all that fun stuff that you would normally see. Similar situation like Bahrain, FP1, you're going to see a lot of sand, wind, everything's right off the sea. So yeah, it's complete opposite of what we're going to see from last week. That's for sure. So yeah.
And a nice start time. We got like 7:30 my time for practice 1, practice 3. Qualifying and race are 11 o'clock, just before lunchtime.
Yeah. Actually race is at 12 my time, so it's going to be 11 your time, so it's perfect. It's like football. NFL Sunday.
That's right.
Yeah.
What is this, like the 5th race in 6 weekends to start off the F1 calendar?
I believe so. I mean, I feel like every week I'm recording something. So I'm not gonna lie, I did not expect that there would be this much to start the season, but we also did have like January, February, like where we had nothing other than testing. So we have a week, and then we're back to another three-peat. So
NBA, NHL wrapping up. Really, this is like MLB, WNBA, and F1 season for betting. So
everything's flying high, and that's probably why the books have been fucking sleeping on us this whole week. We've been like banging our hands on the table asking for FP1 lines, and we just got it like, I don't know, 6 hours ago or something. So
I think it's good. Like there's, predominantly one guy who sets the price in F1, especially secondary markets like FP1. And I think he was kind of proving a point this week. Like, you know what? Fuck you guys. You guys stop copying my homework, make your own lines. And who else had lines? Like I saw the MGM crew, B-Win.
MGM, B-Win are like probably the best at like immediately getting something out. Just immediately, yeah, and that's great. But DK has been prominently like usually waiting until last second to do driver props. We've noticed that like sometimes last hour they're putting stuff, and then BetOnline's been pretty solid. They actually posted some non-teammate head-to-head on free practice and qualifying, I believe, when right before FP1 in the I think it was last week. So interesting to see what they're posting.
Yeah, that's fun. I mean, it's Bet365, right? But like, has Bovada copied Bet365 yet since they dropped?
That's a good question.
You
Not yet. They're still lagging. Nothing has changed from their end. Although they always are pretty quick to put out like top 2, top 3, top 6. That's been kind of consistent.
Yeah.
So
So the race markets season, man, it's crazy. Like, so talking about 5 races in 6 weeks to start off the season. So really, for a team, like if you do off-season development and you have a head start on everybody else, you're gonna enjoy like 2 solid months where there's, what did you say, like 9 races in like 11 or 12 weeks. Like that's a huge advantage if you can get a third of the season, over a third of the season done like right away before other teams catch up on the development cycle.
Yeah. And that's what we're seeing, right? Like Mercedes found something to say we're stable going into the year. Ferrari did the complete opposite. They wanted to change things up, changing their suspension, which is obviously showing that wasn't really a good idea. But what do I know? Like they seem to at least try to get results in. McLaren is McLaren. They methodically did everything they could last year, and they minimally bought upgrades throughout the year, even because they knew they had a good baseline. Focused a little bit on how to improve in some areas just to keep ahead of everyone else. And then I tweeted about this with Red Bull that their development went downhill, right? You peak and then you start going downhill at some point. At some point, it's just going to happen.
Yeah.
And theirs started from 2023 Spain GP, the floor. That's when it started like really going off the rails for them. And then last year it was just not good. So, and you're seeing it this year. So,
yeah. And now they're just, that second driver's getting eaten up and spit out, like whoever it is.
Yeah, totally. So,
and
yeah.
It's putting Checo in a better position for the Cadillac F1 team and stuff. Funny.
I feel like all of us, it's that meme, right? Where it's like, I'm sorry, I have to apologize about your game. You actually had game. And now I feel fucking bad talking all that shit about Checo. Even though part of me towards the end of the year was like, is it really Checo or is it actually the car? Because then you started seeing Max kind of struggling at times, right? And McLaren was doing well. But this confirms it. I was like, man, Checo, I'm sorry, bud. Like and seeing Lawson, seeing Yuki, seeing what's happening. Like those guys are not getting the best results, even though Yuki got a top 10 finally. So
it goes to show you how good Max is. Like he's covering up. He's
amazing
jobs over at Red Bull. That's for sure.
That confirmed 2 things. Getting rid of Checo was probably a mistake. Yes. And then Max is by far putting what he can into that car. And he's just, I think there was a video of him like literally sliding and drifting throughout this turn. I'm like, that's just insane. Like he kept the control and still kept pace throughout that. It's just, it's insane. So,
incredible driver. But you got to think here, like long straights. It's all about the cars with top speed. Like Red Bull's gonna be in trouble. It's gonna be a car dominated race. So it's gonna be McLaren, and then who else?
Well, I actually think there was something interesting when I was looking back towards the end of last year. I didn't want to go through the full season. I just want to take the sample of towards the end of the season. And rear limited tracks, they were terrible at. Like Singapore was one of them. I can look at like Abu Dhabi. They didn't really have the best result, and there's more rear limitations at that track. But it seems like they have better control when it's medium speed, kind of higher speed, I guess. I know that there's
Red Bull or McLaren?
Red Bull, yeah, Red Bull, and I think they have better stability with that because they're still have good aero efficiency in their car. That's one thing that they have. So, and it should technically perform better for them at a track like this. And a good example is Japanese Grand Prix. Where did he end up? P1, right? Like he stuck it in there in P1. Not saying he's going to win the race, but I think it's you should be paying attention to it for this weekend. That it's very possible he could still put in a good result this weekend versus like what he had last weekend.
Yeah, for sure. He's just always going to struggle if he isn't starting at the front.
And it's Max. How could you be afraid to back him on the grid? Like the car just has to be decent enough to keep up with the Ferrari and the Mercedes, and he should be fine. So I bring that up because there is a possibility I will be betting Max. I just don't know how. But one of the things I'm looking at is definitely like qualifying, potentially top 3. Maybe I can find top 4. I don't know. I'm still just trying to figure out my lines and stuff like that. So
just take him over Yuki minus 800.
Yeah, you know, just easy cash, right? Then he wrecks into the wall. So Free Money Friday, I think if there was
let's something up here, let's cook.
If there's something I would like, there you go. Max Verstappen free practice 1 on MGM, top 3. He's plus 225. I mean, this is what I'm talking about. Like he's plus 185 on DraftKings. What else we have? Let's go to Bet Rivers. Let's see. Oh, they don't even have free practice.
Let's cook up some chalky teammate head-to-heads.
All right. Let's do it. That.
Here's your choices.
For a free practice 1, right?
Free practice 1. Nico Hülkenberg minus 200 to Bortoleto. And then who do we pair with? Pierre Gasly minus 500 over Duhan or Verstappen over Tsunoda for minus 1,000?
I mean, Duhan, come on.
So we're fading. We go with Gasly and Hulk, 2 vets that know the track, versus Duhan and Bortoleto, who I'm going to guess, I don't know what the F2 history is like at this track, but
Bortoleto has some experience. I don't know about Duhan.
Can they go? Are they common enough to go full throttle? Because it'll be full throttle hot laps, right?
Yeah, I think FP1 could have some struggles for these guys, especially like Sauber is struggling just overall. Duhan is a donkey.
Hulk is like the back grid Verstappen.
Dude, I do have, when we get to pick'ems, I do want to chat up some Hülkenberg plays on GridRival.
I like it. You know what? I just found on Bet Online, Hülkenberg is minus 80 to Bortoleto for free practice 1. So I'm just going to play that straight for 1 unit. Fuck it. Done.
Well, let's see. Oh. How is 180? Yeah. Now you just remove everything.
Yeah. I mean, Gasly should win, obviously. What's Gasly and Verstappen on their own? Minus 300. Yeah.
Can you parlay on Bet Online? They allow you.
You cannot. No, I just tried that and they wouldn't let me.
Fuckers. You know what I was actually thinking is, why not Behrman over Ocon?
Plus 110.
Or I mean, it's plus 105 for me on Bet Online, but yeah, sure.
Well, here's the question: should he be the favorite in that matchup? Probably not.
I think it should be closer to minus 115, minus 110. It's not like
you think he should be the favorite.
Honestly, in my mind, I feel like Behrman should be the favorite. For some reason,
there you go. Then
I've gone back and forth about that because I've been trying to understand this. Like, I know Ocon's been on the grid; he's got experience and all that, but he doesn't really prove shit sometimes in FP1 or any free practice, and sometimes qualifying. He's really just a guy that goes into a race and does really well. So Like I'm leaning towards actually just taking it on just the way it is, Behrman over, and I know Mech would love this. And if anything, I will nominate this as a free money Friday play if I have to, on behalf of Mech. Integrity.
I think there's a slight edge there, especially at 110. We'll say they should be 100 aside. So you got a 10-point edge.
Yeah.
Yep. I think that's good. I think if you play Behrman over Ocon and Hulk over Bortoletto, you probably get Hulk, and he covers 2/3 of your bet for Behrman. Or you could stagger them and do a little bit less on Behrman. Here's the other play on Bet365, which I know you don't have.
Yeah.
So they're offering each way 1/5 for the top 3 positions. So you make a separate bet, a second bet, for the same size as your first bet, and it pays out 1/3 of the odds. So if you're betting $100 on Piastri to win FP1 at plus 333, that would bring home obviously $333. If you do the each way, you have to stake 200 and you win $400. So you get an extra $67, let's say. So if Piastri gets second, you would lose 1/3 of a unit. So it's like, or third, I should say. So if you think Piastri's getting top 3, you do the each way and you get almost a free roll on him to win the entire session at just over 3-1.
That's actually not bad.
Yeah, I think I might do that for a unit because like he's been good in practice, has he not? I remember kind of waking up and checking it. I haven't watched much live, but I've definitely seen him at the top.
Yeah, I mean he has.
Or am I high?
My only thing is I mean this is just me just not knowing. It's like this is FP1. At any point, you could always see some kind of different result, but so far we've been pretty consistent with these results. So let me go back and see.
So he won 2 out of the 3 practices last weekend.
Yeah, which is fair. I mean, he was dominant.
1 out of 3 in Japan, so 3 of the last 6. China, it wasn't a true practice one.
I'd go to Australia.
So we won't count that.
And he didn't win. Oh, he won FP3 in Australia.
He won 1, and that's a home race for him.
Yeah.
So 1 and 3. So 4 out of the last 9. 4 out of 9 on the year, not counting China. But he's getting odds of 3-1.
Yeah. I mean, that should be like a minus 200 bet.
To win?
Yeah, based on...
At least I would say sub plus 200. I have a feeling.
No, I'm saying like based off the numbers you were saying.
Yeah. Obviously, a small sample and stuff. But I have a feeling Bet365 guys going to hear this and probably change this line.
Well, that's not true because he's going to be asleep by the time we post this shit.
North Americans have an edge.
Okay. I love that. I forgot that I wanted to bring DK up because they actually posted all their head-to-heads. So talk to me about this. I mean, this seems like a lot. I did this last week and Kimmy had a car issue. I really believe if he didn't have the car issue, he would have probably hit a lot of these. But Kimmy in his car, I mean, it's a fast car. He is plus 425 to Oscar Piastri, plus 360 to Leclerc, plus 225 to Lewis Hamilton, and I think that's it. Maybe there's one more. Well, now he's minus 170 to Yuki. I won't do that. Tell me why, I mean, come on. You got to sprinkle those again, right? You got to put on that. That's just too much. Anything can happen in free practice. It's a fast car. I know he's never driven the track. But what if Piastri goes out there and he says, I'm just going to do more testing, or they're going to do some tests because they're bringing a skinnier wing. Maybe they're going to try to play a little bit more in FP1 versus FP2, where it's going to be more grip, it's going to be more to what we are expecting for the race. So,
and I think you could say if Kimmy's never raced here, is that right? Never.
I think he did in F2.
Okay, so
he has some experience, but it was through F2.
So he won't be on testing duty, right? They're going to want him to get comfortable with the track in the car with like quality or race setup.
Yeah.
I would say any testing is probably going to be the more senior driver.
Yeah.
Which is a good point for others too. Like for
Hajar has experience here. Like a lot of these guys have experience here, except for maybe Duhan. And I don't want to say they have a lot of experience. Obviously, these are F1 cars, but we saw it last year, right? Behrman got called up out of nowhere, comes in, qualifies, gets in the race, and guess who's the only one that wrecks? Your boy, Lance Stroll. Not those guys.
So I was like, which loser boy of mine are you going to pick on? Lawson, Stroll, fucking Latifi.
Oh Stroll. Man, it's good. Yeah. We have nowhere to speak. We had Logan on the circuit, so yeah.
Yeah. Well, hey, I was early on Piastri being better than
you were, man. You were.
So
it is well received. And I think
a travesty that Bet365 isn't smart enough to be offering Piastri as the favorite in the drivers champs outright market. Still got him 100 aside, even with Norris, which we all know is fraudulent, but whatever. A few more races and we'll see.
So my boy Maxwell, he hit me up and he's like, hey, I was just listening to this podcast and he brought up some good intel. And I was like, what is it? And he said, I think Lando Norris, he has issues, just like I was calling out the issues with Red Bull on rear limited tracks. He said, Norris typically excels better in front limited tracks. That's why he struggled heavily last year. Now, I'm not saying he's going to come in and win this race, but I did talk about this in the recap. And I said, you guys need to, at least there's going to be a point where you got to buy low on Norris and 2-1, 2-1 area, 2-1. You have to, you have to.
He's the most overpriced driver there is, man.
It's not about him. It's not about him as much as it's about the car, because we know he can win. He can stick it in qualifying. He proved it last year that he can get to qualifying. Won a race. But 2-1, that's where you start getting into the territory of like you got to start like looking at Norris at some point.
Yeah, that's fine. He's just like kind of the consensus better driver on the best team. So you're very rarely going to find value on him.
Right. And that's the problem.
Where it all started. It's like, I want to like Lando, but you can't bet on him because he's so expensive. Like the odds are always short and he often disappoints. So
well, that's why I was only focused on qualifying with him. And actually, like I bet him for Japan at plus 180 because I was like, you're not going to see that anymore just because the cars are just so good. You're going to see less than that at some point. And what do you know? Max came in and pissed on my parade with that one. So that was fun. But
did you see what Max said? If I was in McLaren's car, you'd never see me.
Yeah, but he was also in his own fucking McLaren for 2 years, 3 years.
And he set records, most dominant
in
F1 history.
So it's just what they all gonna say and do. Let's go through a little bit more. I want to tease some of these a little bit more with you. The FP1 odds, at least.
Sure.
There is Charles Leclerc and Oscar Piastri. Oscar Piastri is minus 120 to Charles Leclerc. Now, Charles Leclerc has actually been very sneaky good with free practices, like top 3 every time. Charles Leclerc. Yeah, there's that. What are your thoughts there?
He's minus 110 to get top 3.
No. This is Leclerc is minus 110 to Oscar Piastri at minus 120. Who do you take?
Ooh.
And I think the odds on B-Win, actually, it's about the same. Yeah. It's actually priced okay. Wow. DK is not really crazy on that one.
Yeah, imagine simply looking at what other books do.
I thought DK would be like they're my new favorite when they post these. I was like, look at this. I mean, plus 425 for that's crazy. I mean, like, let's see what.
Yeah, you can find some stinkers on there, man. Just take like anybody who's north of plus 300 and just hope for variance.
Yeah,
And
just that's it. Especially in FP1, it's crazy.
yeah, so look at Bahrain. We had Gasly in second. Hamilton, what's he doing up there in third? Albon in fourth. Ocon in fifth. Hulk in sixth. Duhan in seventh. Lawson in eighth. Like, just take all the dogs on DraftKings practice one. And
I think I'm going to. I know George Russell over Piastri is like plus 180. I mean, I wish it was like a little bit further, but I'm getting now greedy at that point. But I think it's worth it.
yeah,
Just to sprinkle it, just to sprinkle across.
idea.
Um,
Oh, Piastri didn't even. Oh, yeah, he did. He was in FP1. Sorry, there's a bunch of rookies.
oh, you're talking about last week? Yeah, that was rookies, but still, like, it's still going to be pretty high variance at some point. So,
Totally.
all right. Well, let's dive into some pick'ems. Unless there was some other market we're missing. I'm not betting anything for quali or race just yet. But like I said, I am flirting with Max top 3. Just want to see how that goes. What do I think about Ferrari? Fuck if I know. They probably will be strong, but I'm just waiting for them to fuck up. When it comes to Williams, Racing Bulls, who's the other mid shit team in that pile that we're talking about?
Not Haas, right?
Haas is one of them. Aston Martin. Like I don't know. I think Williams, Racing Bull, and Haas are going to be very tight. Aston Martin will still be behind, although I still don't think you should discount Alonso in here, because we did make a comment that Bahrain was like absolutely disastrous for them because of the slow corners, and you could even see it on the video. I was like, holy shit, it looks like I'm turning a fucking 1994 Lincoln Continental through a suburb turn in this thing. It just seemed like it took them forever, but in high speed, they should probably do a little bit better, and it kind of shows in Japan. So kind of getting bullish, and I'm teeing this up with you because this might lead into some GridRival. Yeah. So
He's good, man.
Yeah.
Let's plays.
You got him? Let's hear it.
So what was your do you have
okay? For what I've been flirting with is wow. Behrman already moved. I think for FP1. Damn. They got Behrman at 14 in FP1. Ocon at 13.5.
Wow.
Shit.
The hell. That's fun.
But you could still get Gasly over Behrman at plus 2.5 because they have Gasly at 2 Behrman, that is. Let me see. That's crazy it moved that much. Because I swear I thought I saw it at 12. Maybe that was qualifying, and I'm just spitting fake news. Yeah, where is Gasly? Yeah, 10.5. They have Gasly at 10.5, and they now dropped Behrman to 14. So technically, you should be taking the matchup Gasly over Behrman plus 2.5. Behrman is plus 2.5 to Gasly if they've already moved
right
to 14.5. So
that's weird they didn't adjust the rival.
That's fine. I'll take that. So who do I pair that with? Do I take Hajar or Ocon? What about Alonso to Yuki plus 2.5? Alonso.
So he has to be within 2.5 spots of him.
Mm-hmm. Albon 3.5 to Kimi.
Ooh, that one's interesting.
Or I could just take straight up Nico to Jack Duhan.
Man, tricky business.
I swear that was also plus 1.5 when I saw it about an hour ago before we were recording. I slept on it.
Seems like Albon should be good for it.
Albon plus 3.5. Gasly to the plus 2.5. Let's see. Albon is 9.5. What plays do you have? Let me look at this a little bit more.
Well, unfortunately, I don't have access to GridRival. I would play on that.
Pick a place. Yeah,
for sure. But so Prize Picks is showing. Let me just confirm this. Prize Picks and Underdog. One of them is race results, and one of them is qualifying results. I just want to clarify which. Yeah, so Underdog is offering finishing positions of their race. Sometimes they do that race week, switch it up from qualifying. But Prize Picks is offering Hamilton at 6.0 and Verstappen at 4.0. And I don't respectively see either of them doing worse than those positions. It's just hard to see a world where Hamilton is 7th or worse. And same thing with Verstappen. I feel like if you play both of those, one of them pushes and one of them hits. So Hamilton better than 6.0, Verstappen better than 4.0. And then Lawson at 15.5 just feels like a crime. Like he's not that bad of a driver.
yeah.
This is his third race weekend now in this car. Like
I actually will admit I really like that one.
So Lawson to get to Q2 essentially.
I mean, yes. And that car should do better here compared to the last track.
Yeah, so that's my 3 pick. If you're partial to Hamilton or Verstappen, you can just take one of them alongside Lawson. But I always like those 0.0 lines. They're kind of a risk-free roll. Like Verstappen, essentially, you're saying 5th or worse. Hamilton 7th or worse. You know, they each, I think, have a car that they can put in a solid lap where they're just hammering it. And obviously both the drivers are solid. So those are my play. That's my play there. Three leg. Hoping for 2 to hit.
Max, and Lawson, and what was the third one?
Hamilton.
Okay.
Better. And then on Underdog, Sonoda 8.5 worse.
And that's race though, right? Yeah, that's race.
And then Gasly or Sainz. I wanted your opinion. They're both at 11.5. One of them is getting better than that for sure. At least one of them. Who do you like better here?
Honestly, I'm leaning Gasly just because he seems more in tune with the car than Sainz.
Yeah.
But I do not know what to expect from Alpine this weekend. So that's my lean.
Not the best track for them, right? Is the problem.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, they seem confident they could still try to come in and get points, but I'm like, outside of last week, they weren't really like blowing it out of the water or anything. So, and Williams just has this car that seems fine. I don't know, they're just donkey drivers or something. They just can't, there's something they can't figure out. So, just purely on driver, I do lean Gasly over Sainz just because he's more comfortable in that car.
He's dialed in. Yeah. Yep. And then Sonoda at worst. Like I just don't think he has it yet.
Yeah, 8.5 is too much. Well, let's see what GridRival has for that race for him. They have 8.5 too. Oh, okay. They have 9.5 for all the other sessions, except for that.
Yeah, I think he has the car to gain a place.
Maybe that's what I was looking at. I was probably looking at the race tab when I was checking out FP1. I don't know. Man, I'm a little upset. I had an opportunity to get Hulkenberg 1.5 to Duhan for FP1. Fucked it up. Okay, so you got the Gasly Sainz. What about?
That's what I got anyway.
Leclerc is at 4.5. I kind of like the better. He can get the 4th spot. Let's see what the odds are for him at the Top 4. He's minus 120 for top 4. Damn, I kind of want to bet that.
How about Norris worse than 1.5? Is it between the two of them, hey, for pull?
For quality, yeah. I'm actually... Are you talking about GridRival?
Yeah, also underdog.
I don't see the Norris one. Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, because GridRival has it at 1.5. I mean, everything is leaning towards Norris is going to do better here.
Okay.
They would not post 1.5 if they didn't expect him to get there. They don't even have Piastri posted on here. They're just baiting. Okay, so we're still on the Yuki Fade train for race. Yeah. I am going to probably stick with... This is what I'm going to do for my FP1 card. God, I wish I had that 1.5. Now I don't know if I want to do that. So I'm going to do Gasly over Behrman. And then what about Leclerc +2 to Piastri on practice? That looks good. I kind of like that. I wish it was 2.5 though. Fuck it. That's one of them. I'm gonna do one of those for FP because we're degenerates. Locked in. All right. Any other things we're missing here? Any other lines?
I don't think so. I think that's good for pre-race week. Luckily, these sessions are all at normal times of the day, so
yeah,
should be able to wake up early on Saturday and see some lines for quali after practice 3 and get some good race lines Saturday night. So just stick around the Discord for the live discussion as everybody maps it out.
Yeah, man. Oh, that sounds good. Well, awesome. Well, let's go
Let's
ahead
make some money tomorrow morning on FP1 and then just
8:30. 8:30 my time. I got to be ready. After this, I'm going to cook up some food. And I'm going to cook up some lines. I think I am going to take that Behrman over Ocon for FP1. I will consider taking all those Kimi lines just for shits. And yeah.
Yeah, man. I miss DraftKings. Was a fun book.
I'm going to have to phone a friend on that one. I'm going to bug him. So. All right, man. Well,
FP1 dogs and pray.
I love it. Well, I am so happy we got you on here. As always, it's a pleasure. Love chatting with you. So we'll see you in the morning.
Yeah, man. Good
Friday early. Hell yeah.
Thanks for hanging out with me.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Listening to my non-PG Costa Rica stories.
Mm-hmm. Can't discuss here.
That's right.
Can't discuss here.
If you leave Renegade coffee money at the end of race weekend, we will share with you the non-PG Costa Rica stories.
Yes. You have to get the Ko-Fi link from Renegade. Bug him.
That's right. Little Easter egg for whoever listened all the way through this podcast.
I fucking love it.
All right, man. Later.
All righty. See ya.